Jeffrey Epstein was killed in 60 seconds. The Psychology Book Club. I'm your host, RJ Roger. And what we're going to talk about today is this strange, weird, peculiar information coming out of the federal government about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, does anyone really think a suspected intelligence agent, and there's a lot of information to support that. I'll leave a link in the description where you can get the best breakdown I have saw about proof that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence agent. But I'm not going to get into all of that. I just want to break down the missing 60 seconds from the tape. Why would such a high-profile person with suspicions of being a major U.S. intelligence agent be in a facility not under surveillance and giving you a 1 minute out every single night? I find it interesting. But I will say I have looked into security systems, and yes, it is true that there are many security options. There are many security options that the system resets for 60 seconds and then restarts. Now, I am probably the senior most well-researched person in the country on assassins. I've spent my whole life studying murderers and organized crime. Now, in my book, The Don, 36 Rules of the Boss, says one of my rules is avoid routine. An assassin wants you relaxed. He wants you comfortable, trusting, doing something that's very normal. He doesn't want you on high guard, high alert, wondering, worried. He doesn't want loud noises, shouting, fighting back, nothing. He wants you at your most calm point. And the easiest way for you to be relaxed and calm is to be killed when you're doing something that you routinely do. So allow me to read from my book, Rule 15, avoid routine. Don't commit yourself to any one idea or strategy, for even perfection hides a hairline crack. You can fence your estate with 12-foot walls topped with barbed wire. You can have barking dogs and armed men loose behind them, and you can sweep the house for bugs, and you can search every crevice. That'll all be fine. But if you meet there routinely, your end will come soon. Now, as a person that has studied murderers, I can tell you that typically a murderer does not want to bring you into his world to kill you. It's a lot easier to be caught killing someone if you are hatching a plan that is outside of their typical behaviors. So in the mob, they have something called sitting on you or laying on you. And what that is when a person that wants to kill you follows you around for a while. They're hiding out, they're watching you, and you don't even know that they're there. And what they're trying to do is find your routines. And after they discover your routines and what you do, they look for little ends that can allow them to clip you, as the mob says, without ever being caught, and do it in a way that's very easy. Now, there are many examples in the Mafia as to how someone was executed in this style, but I'm just going to, for the purpose of this video, talk about 4 major hits that have occurred in the American Mafia. Number 1, what we'll talk about is the Oliveri hit in the Gambino family. Now, there was a famous capo regime in the Mafia under John Gotti named Johnny Gambino. And Johnny Gambino goes to John Gotti and asks for permission to have a man killed. John gives the approval, and Sammy the Bull, famous underboss in the Mafia that testified against John Gotti, the order was given to Sammy the Bull that he was going to plan and organize this hit on Oliveri. Now, what Sammy found in sitting on Oliveri is that every morning Oliveri came out of his house and moved his car from one side of the street to the other side of the street. there was parking restrictions in his neighborhood, which he had to move his car every morning. So, boom, that was Sammy's end. We will hit Oliveri in the morning when he's moving his car. Very simple thing, right? They didn't lure Oliveri to a restaurant. Ask him to come in for coffee. They didn't say, hey, Oliveri, would you mind if I stop over at 7 o'clock in the morning so we can talk about something? They did not do nothing. They just discovered he moves his car at the same time every morning from the right side of the street to the left side of the street. Boom. Oliveri's dead. No witnesses. No one ever arrested. And smooth hit. Salvatore Marenzano. Now, lucky Luciano and Meyer Lansky were having problems with this major American Cosa Nostra boss. And what they discovered is that Marenzano's having major tax problems. And IRS agents every day were coming over to visit Marenzano. Lucky Luciano and Meyer Lansky said, let's just dress some guys up as agents and have a fake warrant and walk into Marenzano's offices and present a warrant that we need to speak with Mr. Marenzano and go through his files. So Marenzano's security allowed the agents in, and they went up the steps and they walked into Marenzano's office and they killed him. Very easy. But Lucky and Meyer didn't ask for a meeting. They didn't ask, hey, can we meet for a cup of coffee or have a nice dinner, in which time we'll kill you? No, they entered into his routines. Albert Anastasia, boss of the Anastasia family, now known as the Gambino family at the time. Now, Albert Anastasia was known for routinely going to the Park Sheraton Hotel to get a face shave. So the people who wanted to kill him, Carlo Gambino, organized, hey, this Albert guy is going every day to the Park Sheraton Hotel and get a shave. How about as soon as he reclines and they put a cloth over his face, we just send some guys in there and shoot him. And that's what they did. So boom, Albert Anastasia dead. Tom Reina, boss of the Reina family, which is now known as the Lucchese family. Now, Tom Reina historically is known for either going to his aunt's house or a girlfriend's house. History is blurred on who it was, but they did know that he routinely was going to this location for dinner. So boom, the assassins that were tasked with killing Tom Reina just pulled up outside of this very standard routine place that Tom Reina was going every week, and they shot him in the head and killed him. So why do I say all this? Because when you want to kill someone, you figure out their routines, you figure out what's the normal, typical, everyday thing that's happening, and how do we exploit it? So this leads me to say, if someone, I won't say who, but if someone wanted to kill Jeffrey Epstein, what would be the best way to do it? You would look for something that's consistent, something that's happening every day. And the only thing that we know that's happening every single day is that at 11:59, the cameras go out and he's locked behind a prison cell. So if you were going to kill with Jeffrey Epstein, what is the best way to do it? It would be to go into his prison cell at 11:59 and kill him and be out of the cell by 12 o'clock midnight. I believe that Jeffrey Epstein was killed in 60 seconds inside of his prison cell, and I believe that it happened at 11:59 at night. And there's no evidence and nothing to ever show proof. And the U.S. government can kill him and then put out a tape and say, here's all the footage, minus 60 seconds. 62 seconds to be exact. Isn't that interesting? So, what do you guys think? I can tell you, as a person that has researched killers my entire life. And every time a boss was killed, every time a powerful man was killed, he was killed inside of his own routines. What do you guys think? I'm RJ Roger. I'm the author of The Don, 36 Rules of the Bosses. It is in stores now. And if you want to understand a little bit more about how sick people, bad people, power-hungry people think, check out my book, The Don. It's in stores anywhere that books are sold. Peace and love, and I'll see you next week.